Hello children, welcome back to e-learning. This side Shiven sir, and we are going to study today the third chapter of your literature book, A Question of Grammar. Before we discuss the chapter, let's have information about the author Richmal Crompton. Richmal Crompton was born on 15 November 1890 in England. She was a teacher, novelist and short story writer. Crompton's best known books are the William stories, about a mischievous 11-year-old schoolboy and his band of friends known as the Outlaws. In 1922, the first collection, entitled Just William, was published. Her Just William series was much appreciated for its innovativeness and lack of sentimentality. Crompton died on 11 January 1969. Now let's discuss the story. In this story, William, who is an 11-year-old schoolboy, misunderstands the use of double negative in a sentence as explained by his English teacher and throws a party in absence of his parents. Let's study the story to know how it all happens. It was raining throughout the morning and William was feeling immensely bored at home. But the suggestions that he got from his parents were quite disappointing, according to him. He got irritated with their ideas of sitting idle, reading, drawing, or even learning how to knit. He went to his sister Ethel, who was knitting a sweater and talking to a friend. He did not like his sister giving him no importance and asking him to shut the door after moving out of the room. William felt humiliated and left the room. Next, he went to the library where his brother Robert was talking to his friend and showing him his rifle. His brother ordered him to move out from there. Again, he went back to his mother to take permission to go out, but he was not allowed as it was raining heavily. William considered himself to be made handicapped by his parents. He went to his father, who was still busy in reading the newspaper. He asked his father if he could allow him to have a party on Saturday when they all would remain away from home. His father did not allow him to do so, saying, "No, of course not," and suggested that he should do something. At this, William told him that he did not like the suggestions they were giving to him. Luckily, it stopped raining and his father allowed him to go out, and so he went out. After playing outside, his mood was changed and he felt happy. He went to his father carefully and casually asked his father if he had allowed him to have a party on Saturday. His father responded strongly, saying, "No, I did not." In the school next day, during his English grammar period, he kept on thinking how to arrange the party without his parents and his elder brother and sister. He was planning to invite all his 30 classmates. In class, while William was thinking of the Saturday party, the teacher, just in order to check his attention, asked him what she had just been saying. Absent-mindedly, he gave a wrong answer. The teacher explained that if there are two no's and nots in the same sentence, they mean yes. William smiled as if he remembered something. He murmured what his father had said, "No, of course not," and "No, I did not." It meant, according to him, and what he had understood by the teacher's explanation, that his father had given him permission for Saturday party. On Friday, he casually invited his friends, telling them that on Saturday his family members would not be there at home. He hinted his friends that the party would be a great one. On Saturday morning, when his family was about to leave, he promised his mother to follow all the instructions given by them. Cook and Jean, the maids, were also relaxed, as they were eagerly waiting for this day. Cook and Jane knew that there would not be much work to do. Jane went out with her friends. At about 3 o'clock, Cook went to the door to collect letters from the postman. She was stunned to see William approaching with his friends. Seeing them, she could not understand how to react, but the very next moment she was in action. She warned William furiously to keep his friends out of the house, but William retorted that his friends came for tea and his father had permitted him. Cook shut the door and locked it. William remarked that she was their enemy and they should try to defeat her. All of them went to the back side of the house. The back door was also bolted by Cook, and then she was closing the windows. With the help of his friends, William climbed up to the balcony of his sister's open bedroom. Suddenly, Cook came to the window and shuddered with a loud sound. William had not expected this and was dropped down among his friends. They all shouted in anger. There was no way left to enter the drawing room except the hole in the drawing room window that was made by the stone thrown by William. William made the hole larger and let his friends enter the drawing room without much injury. They were all excited after entering the drawing room. On the other hand, Cook was inside the coal store room to close its small window. William closed the door of the room and locked her inside the room. This party was much more exciting than they all had expected. They were quite free to do whatever they liked. Just then, William had the idea of going into the storeroom and he became overjoyed. From the storeroom, they picked up whichever food they could pick and finished every food item kept in it. On the other hand, Cook's voice was getting harsher and harsher due to inhaling and exhaling coal dust, and she kept on knocking loudly at the coal store's door. Then one of the boys informed that Jane, the other maid, was coming. William shouted not to let Jane come in. They started throwing at her whatever they could get, like potatoes, onions, a mass of fat, etc. She was not ready for it and moved back onto the road. They were shouting with joy while throwing potatoes and onions, etc., on her. Suddenly, their shouting of victory stopped. William's smile was also lost. Actually, they had seen a cab turning in at the front gate. There was silence in the party. Cook's rough cries became even louder, and William got frightened as in the cab there was his family. In this way, the story concludes. So, dear children, how was the story? I hope you must have liked it. But don't forget to read the whole story by yourselves for a better understanding. Thank you, children.